it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends, us being more than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day, yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars. Oh, where I'd rather be than with you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me. Oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me.
Hello, my friends. Happy Monday. It is Monday. I cannot believe it's already Monday. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Today is my favorite day of the week. I know, kind of odd if you ask me, but it is my favorite day of the week. I love Mondays. I didn't used to. It took me a lot to get the attitude to love them, to want to enjoy them, I should say. But I began to do little habits that made Mondays special. Like Mondays are always clean sheet days, where everyone gets fresh sheets on their bed. And it just became a weekly thing, which made every time going to bed on Monday night special, because who doesn't like climbing into a bed with clean sheets? And I always made a dinner that everyone enjoyed, because any mother not finding anyone to eat dinner was always a blessing. So Mondays have been my favorite for a long time. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. That was said by Winston Churchill. Welcome to day 6 of our mental diet series, an original podcast series of Breaking the Lucky Girl Code podcast. Today, specifically, we're going to discuss the fact that we need to stop avoiding conflict in our lives. For me, it comes naturally, as I have been a people pleaser for most of my life, up until about 5 years ago when I finally flipped that switch. This is a disclaimer. I am in no way a mental health professional. I'm not a doctor, nor a psychiatrist, or a psychologist. I don't claim to be. I am, however, a mindset coach, and I am approaching this topic as so from my personal experience. I have to say that before every podcast on the mental diet, just for my own protection. Sounds silly, but it's there. If you want to catch up on any of the previous days of the mental diet series, the link is in the description box below. Also in that box, you will find a link to the podcast page for all the different podcasts in the series. You will also find a link to my latest book on how to break the Lucky Girl Code, and all my socials are down there. So have a ball. Come say hi to me over on Instagram or Facebook. I'd love to see you over there as well as here. There's that. That's out the way. So today we're going to talk about stop avoiding conflict. I don't know how about you if you avoid conflict like I used to. And I still kind of do in a way where I just don't participate in it. If there's conflict, I want nothing to do with it. If I have a part in that conflict, then I try to resolve it as quickly as possible. Other than that, I keep my nose out of it because it's just better that way. I don't know about you, but drama and conflict are not my friend. I don't appreciate them. I don't like the anxious feelings that I get when that comes up. I want to resolve it as soon as possible. I was once the queen of avoiding conflict. Even though I felt horrible anytime I have gone through conflict, like physically horrible, I would get a terrible sinking feeling in my stomach, even to the point of shaking. You can see my emotions on my face regardless of what I'm going through. I feel things very deeply, whether it would have been positive or negative. I feel it. I can even feel the emotions of those around me, and I don't always like that. But I used to avoid conflict. I would suffer whatever loss I needed to in order to not confront conflict. It wasn't until I was with my husband for a few years that I learned how to deal with conflict in a wiser way. Not by examples of anyone I knew, but by regulating my own emotions and taking a step back to reflect on the core issue at hand. Once I got to that core issue, I could come at it with reason, and I'm very proud of how I handle conflict now. Thankfully, we didn't have too many situations arise where we had conflict with one another. We're pretty much on the same page on most things. There were a few heated moments, not going to lie. You're in a relationship with someone, you're with them all the time. You're going to have opposing thoughts from time to time. It's just how you handle those opposing thoughts that make the difference. What it means to stop avoiding conflict. To stop avoiding conflict means to actively engage with and address conflicts rather than ignoring or evading them. It involves facing disagreements, disputes, or tensions head on instead of trying to suppress or avoid them. When you stop avoiding conflict, you embrace the idea that conflicts can be opportunities for growth, understanding, and resolution. Here are a few key aspects of what it means to stop avoiding conflict. Acknowledging and accepting conflicts. Instead of denying or minimizing conflicts, you can recognize their existence and understand that they are a natural part of human interactions. Minimizing. That if you don't know, that is one of the biggest issues in arguments, is someone is minimizing someone else's feelings on the matter. Whether they're for pointless or not, it's still someone's feelings. And if you minimize someone else's feelings, then you're making them feel smaller than you. And I know that's probably not your intention. You wouldn't want your feelings minimized or disputed or said that they didn't matter, because they do. Everyone's feelings matters on topics of discussion. It may not hold relevance to the conversation, but they still are valid. Everyone wants that validation of their feelings being heard. 2, open communication. You engage in open and honest communication, expressing your thoughts, your feelings, and concerns, while actively listening to the perspectives of others involved in the conflict. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and they brush you off when you're arising to the conflict at hand? It's not a good feeling. And I always go back to, how is that other person feeling that I'm talking to? What are they feeling inside that they're not expressing? That's what that open communication is for, to express those feelings that you're suppressing. Suppressed feelings become oppressed emotions and become a conflict in your communication with one another. Even if it's a friend, a colleague, a neighbor, an acquaintance, or just someone you run into in the store. If there's a conflict, it's usually because there's buried communication somewhere within, whether it's with someone who had a hard time handling their emotions at one point, and you remind them of someone by something you said or something you did or just a phrase you may have used. That can evoke a horrible feeling in someone who's struggled with that particular emotion with someone else. And the whole conflict isn't even with you, it's with them within themselves. But you're not going to figure that out if your communication is closed and it's not open. Constructive problem solving. You approach conflicts with a problem solving mindset. You approach conflicts with the problem solving mindset, seeking mutually beneficial resolutions rather than trying to win or impose your viewpoint. This involves brainstorming solutions, compromising, and finding common ground. I learned that skill very easily when I was teaching, because when you work with a group of 20 women who all have cycles different times of the month, which we all know that evokes our emotions in a different way on its own, you learn how to problem solve a little bit better. I think every job I had prepared me for the next, which is quite interesting now that I'm sitting here thinking about that. My first job out of high school I was a hairdresser. I graduated with my cosmetology license, so I did hair. That taught me communication with people and how to figure out what they wanted. I learned management skills. I was put into a management position quite early in my career. Then I went into retail, which I learned a ton of communication skills and how to talk to people, how to hold random conversations with a stranger, which I guess leads up to doing a podcast, huh? And after, I did that for years until the twins were born, and then I quit because paying daycare for one toddler and 2 infants was going to eat my whole paycheck. I would have had $35 at the end of the week, and working and managing 3 kids in and out of daycare, missing when they got sick, was not going to work very well. So it was in our best interest for me to stay home. And I stayed home for a couple of years, and then I taught preschool for 13. And teaching others, or teaching little ones, it brought out my teaching skills that I had in me for a long time, because I taught Sunday school when I was in high school. Why am I going into this long spiel? I don't know. And then when I quit teaching, I went into an admin position, an admin assistant position. I needed a grown-up job. I needed to be surrounded with grown-ups for a while. And by grown-ups, I mean adults. And I mean adults who acted like adults, who were in a professional setting. Because teachers, even though it's a nice profession, and I loved every minute of it, it was not a professional setting. Not when you play with Play-Doh all the time. Just kidding. Anywho, every job I've had led to the next. And here I am working for myself. So that's exciting. Anyway, constructive problem solving. You approach conflicts with a problem solving mindset. I remember I read a book by John Gordon, and it wasn't the energy bus. Let me look that up real fast. The energy bus is awesome. That's where you hear the term energy vampire. The No Complaining Rule is a perfect book. It was written in 2008 and it's by John Gordon, JonGordon. And that book will teach you about problem solving because it's no complaining. You learn how to solve problems rather than complain about them. It's a perfect book if you want to just on your own want to learn how to problem solve better. I highly recommend that book. I highly recommend all of his books. All of them are leadership books. They're books for businesses to use with their personnel. But anybody can read them and apply it to your life. So that book is highly, highly recommended. I will put a link in the comment section of this podcast when I'm done for you guys if you want to check it out. So it involves brainstorming solutions, compromising, and finding common ground. When you learn how to solve problems on your own, you need to learn how to solve problems with other people because you're not always going to be the one in control. Someone else is eventually going to be in control, and you have to learn how to turn that over to them as well. 4. Managing emotions. Conflict can evoke strong emotions, and stopping avoidance means learning to manage and express your emotions in a constructive manner. It involves maintaining calm and respectful communication, even when disagreements become intense. Have you ever had a disagreement with someone and they were out of complete control, yelling at the top of their lungs, calling you all kinds of vicious names? I've seen it. I've heard it. I've experienced it on my own end, and it's not very comforting for anybody. It's intimidating, and intimidation is not a way to work out conflict. Intimidating someone will make them completely walk away from you. There will be no conflict resolution. If you intimidate me, I'm done with you. I won't even probably give you a second chance now because I've become a little bit harder in my boundaries. I've become a little stricter in my boundaries, I should say. But managing those emotions can be difficult. It can be hard when something comes up that evokes those strong emotions within you. But you're not going to be able to handle and constructively flow through that conflict if you're out of control and you're not using respectful communication. Disagreements can become very intense. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've experienced it. I've been on the giving end as well as the back end. And it's not fun for anyone. I don't know anyone who enjoys disagreements, who enjoys emotional, disrespectful communication, who enjoys just not being calm. I don't know about you, but I like to be calm as the water on a pond in the middle of the day when nothing is going on. The fish are settled. They're not hopping up out of the water. Active listening. Actively listen to the perspectives and viewpoints of others involved in the conflict. Seek to understand their concerns, needs, and motivations. This helps foster empathy and facilitates a deeper understanding of the underlying issues. And I stress underlying issues because 9 times out of 10, if you're having a conflict with someone, it's not even to do with what you're dealing with. It has to do with underlying issues. Could be from someone completely oblivious to the situation. It could be somebody who's not even involved in the situation. It could be somebody who, I don't know, left a bad taste in someone's mouth and you remind them of that person for whatever reason. But actively listen, pay attention to what's being said, and try to figure out where that emotion is coming from. Because if you're in a conflict, there's going to be emotion involved. And if you figure out where that emotion is coming from, it's easier to figure out how to handle the situation at hand with calmness and respectfulness, and to keep that where you don't cross that boundary line of respecting yourself. I remember one time I got mad at my husband for something. We were very young and dumb. We weren't even married, I don't think. Or we might have just got married. I don't remember. But we had a disagreement. And of course, I said something smart and he said something smart. So I had to say something smarter. And it got us nowhere, but feeling crummy about the whole thing. Of course, the makeup was nice, but, getting to that point of communication was not wise in our case, in anyone's case, really. These pesky emotions get the best of us. Collaborative problem solving. Approach conflicts with the mindset focused on finding mutual beneficial solutions rather than winning or being adversarial. Foster a collaborative environment where all parties can contribute ideas and work together to address the conflict. You want to have an adversary, but you don't want to be someone's adversary in a conflict. You just want to be neutral, especially if you're not involved. Stay out of it. That's the best advice I have for you. But if you approach conflicts with the mindset focused on finding a mutually beneficial solution, then you're going to actually solve the problem. If you approach it with a wanting to win, then you're not going to find any kind of solution. Managing emotions. Conflict often triggers strong emotions, and stopping avoidance means learning to manage these emotions effectively. Take the time to regulate your emotions, staying calm and composed during discussions. Excuse me. This enables a more productive and respectful dialogue. Seeking compromise and understanding. Be willing to find common ground and make compromises to reach a resolution that satisfies all parties involved. Strive for understanding rather than insisting on being right or having it your way. This isn't Burger King. Life is not Burger King. You don't always get things your way. You have to eventually compromise at times. Even if that compromise is the common ground of no longer having contact with one another. If that is the common ground that's going to be the solution, then make it and stick to it. You having it your way only works at Burger King, and then it really doesn't even work there because you're at the mercy of whoever's fixing your food. So addressing conflicts promptly. Instead of procrastinating or letting conflicts linger, address them as soon as possible. Early intervention can prevent conflicts from escalating and becoming more difficult to resolve. Remember that resolving conflicts does not always mean complete agreement or that everyone gets everything they want. It means finding a satisfactory resolution, fostering understanding, and maintaining positive relationships, even if that positive is the end of that relationship. For some, I think that the best way to avoid not to avoid conflict, but to avoid future conflicts is to totally end that relationship. Go your separate ways. Wipe your hands of each other and move on. The true mark of maturity is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. That was said by our famous unknown person, and I love that quote. That is how I totally try to live my life. I'm not a person who believes that we are to dish out someone's karma, if that's what you want to call it. I don't try to hurt someone back when they hurt me. I think that's childish behavior, if you ask me. That's why the true mark of maturity is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. Why do people avoid conflict? Have you wondered that? People often avoid conflict for various reasons, including 1. Fear of confrontation. This was why I used to avoid it. Conflict can be uncomfortable and emotionally charged. Some individuals may fear that addressing conflicts will escalate the situation or lead to a negative outcome, such as a damaged relationship or increased tension. As a result, they choose to avoid conflict to maintain a sense of harmony and avoid potential negative consequences. That's exactly what I used to do and why I used to avoid conflict was fear of confrontation. I'm not a confrontational person and I don't like conflict. I don't like confrontation. I don't like being involved in it. I don't like being on the receiving end or the person giving that confrontation because it's emotionally charged either way. Desire for approval and acceptance. People naturally seek acceptance and validation from others. They may avoid conflict to avoid disagreements or potential disapproval from others. This desire to be liked or accepted can override the need to address conflicts directly. That used to be me too. I used to want people's approval. Not so much that I changed who I was, but I probably wouldn't address them if they bothered me because I wanted their approval. Fear of damaging relationships. Conflict can strain relationships, and some individuals may prioritize maintaining a positive relationship over addressing the issues at hand. They may fear that confronting conflicts could irreparably damage the relationship or result in rejection from the other person. Lack of skills or confidence. Effective conflict resolution requires strong communication, emotional intelligence, and problem solving skills. Some individuals may avoid conflict because they feel ill equipped to navigate difficult conversations or lack confidence in their ability to handle conflicts constructively. Cultural or societal norms. Cultural or societal norms can influence how individuals perceive and approach conflict. In some cultures, open confrontation or disagreement is seen as disrespectful or inappropriate. That was how I was raised. As a result, individuals may avoid conflict by adhering to cultural expectations or maintaining social harmony. Previous negative experiences. Past experiences of unresolved conflicts or negative outcomes may influence an individual's aversion to conflict. That means that they don't have a natural tendency to have a conflict with someone. They may associate conflict with pain, disappointment, or negative consequences, leading them to avoid similar situations in the future. If you have somebody who's openly conflictive with you, then they don't have any previous negative experiences. Or maybe they do and they just never been able to resolve conflicts in a mature way, in a way that that normal people do. It's the only way I know to put it. And I hate using normal in quotes, but most adults can handle conflict in situations, can handle that in a respectful way, especially if you've had any professional job of any sort. Maybe if you've only worked at McDonald's your whole life, then you haven't had to deal with a professional conflict. But most of us have had to deal with conflict in a professional setting. You can't just scream at someone and call them a terrible word and stomp your foot until they give you your way. It's not how it works. It's important to note that conflict avoidance is not always beneficial. Unresolved conflicts can lead to increased stress, resentment, and strained relationships over time. However, understanding the reasons why people may avoid conflict can help promote empathy and facilitate more effective conflict resolution strategies. If we don't talk about it, if we don't acknowledge and address it, then it will never get better. That is said by our unknown person. It's a fantastic quote because it's true. My husband was one, he did not like to talk about things. I mean, he would talk, but he did not like to have long, drawn out conversations unless they were led by him. But he didn't want to talk about a problem. He'd rather just let's get through it, move on, and drop it. He dropped things very quickly, where I used to hold on to things and try to process them because I have to process things. I can't just get over something quickly. I have to go through those motions and figure out how to resolve it in a way that is not going to harm that relationship, in a way that's not going to harm me, in a way that's not going to harm my future. How no longer avoiding conflict is good for your mental diet. No longer avoiding conflict can be beneficial for your mental well-being and overall mental diet in several ways. 1. Increase self-awareness. When you confront conflicts instead of avoiding them, you gain a deeper understanding of your own thoughts, feelings, and needs. This self-awareness promotes emotional intelligence and helps you develop a stronger sense of self. Reduce stress and anxiety. Avoiding conflict can create underlying tension and anxiety. By addressing conflicts directly, you can alleviate the stress associated with unresolved issues. Resolving conflicts in a healthy manner can bring a sense of relief and peace of mind. Enhance communication skills. Engaging in open and honest communication during conflict resolution requires active listening, effective expression, and empathy. By practicing these skills, you improve your overall communication abilities, which positively impacts your interactions with others and reduces misunderstandings. Strengthen relationships. Conflict avoidance can lead to strained relationships and harbored resentment. By facing conflicts and working towards resolution, you foster healthier and more authentic connections. Constructive conflict management promotes trust, understanding, and deeper bonds with others. Personal growth and learning. Conflict provides an opportunity for personal growth and learning. By engaging with conflicts, you gain insights into your own beliefs, values, and boundaries. Additionally, conflicts can challenge your perspectives and help you develop greater empathy and understanding towards others. Problem-solving skills. Actively addressing conflicts improves your problem-solving abilities. As you work through conflicts, you develop critical thinking skills, creativity, and the ability to consider multiple perspectives. These skills are transferable to other areas of life, enabling you to navigate challenges more effectively. Increase self-confidence. Successfully managing conflicts and finding resolutions boosts your self-confidence and self-esteem. It reinforces the belief in your ability to handle difficult situations and reinforces your sense of agency and control over your life. It's important to note that not all conflicts can be resolved completely or in a way that satisfies everyone. However, actively engaging with conflicts and seeking resolution can still contribute to a healthier mental diet by fostering personal growth, improving relationships, and reducing the negative impact of unresolved issues on your well-being. Peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. That was said by former President Ronald Reagan. Benefits of not avoiding conflict. There are several benefits of not avoiding conflict and instead actively engaging with it. One is resolution and growth. By facing conflicts head on, you increase the chances of reaching a resolution or finding a middle ground that satisfies all parties involved. This promotes growth, both individually and within relationships or organizations, as conflicts can be opportunities for learning, development, and positive change. Improved communication. Addressing conflicts requires open and honest communication, which can lead to improved communication skills overall. By actively engaging in conflict, you learn to express yourself effectively, actively listening to others, and communicate with empathy and understanding. Strengthened relationships. Conflict, when handled constructively, can lead to stronger and more authentic relationships. By openly addressing conflicts, you demonstrate a willingness to work through challenges, build trust, and deepen connections. Resolving conflicts can foster a greater sense of unity and collaboration. Reduced resentment and stress. Avoiding conflict often leads to unresolved issues, which can create resentment and stress over time. By actively addressing conflicts, you prevent them from festering and causing ongoing negative emotions. This contributes to improved mental well-being and reduces the burden of carrying unresolved conflicts. Enhanced problem-solving skills. Confronting conflicts requires problem-solving skills such as critical thinking, creativity, and the ability to consider multiple perspectives. By actively engaging with conflicts, you hone your problem-solving abilities and develop a proactive mindset in tackling future challenges. Personal empowerment. Not avoiding conflict empowers you to take control of your own narrative and assert your needs and boundaries. By facing conflicts, you assert your agency and develop self-confidence in navigating difficult situations. This leads to personal growth and an increased sense of self-worth. Organizational improvement. In professional settings, conflicts are often indicative of underlying issues that need to be addressed. By actively addressing conflicts, organizations can identify areas for improvement, foster a culture of open communication, and create a more harmonious and productive work environment. Remember, the key is not to seek conflict for the sake of it, but to approach conflicts with a constructive mindset and a willingness to find resolutions or understanding differing perspectives. By embracing conflicts rather than avoiding them, you can unlock these benefits and create healthier, more fulfilling relationships and environments. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity, which was said by Albert Einstein. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. How many times do we reflect on that when we're going through something difficult? Or do we reflect on the difficulties that we're dealing with instead of the opportunities that are presenting themselves? Here's 100 positive affirmations for not avoiding conflict. Remember, positive affirmations can help shift your mindset and reinforce a more proactive approach to conflict resolution. Repeat these affirmations regularly and believe in your ability to navigate conflicts constructively and positively. I embrace conflict as an opportunity for growth and understanding. I face conflicts head on with courage and confidence. Conflict is a normal part of life, and I am equipped to handle it. I communicate my needs involved in the conflict with empathy and understanding. Addressing conflicts leads to stronger and more authentic relationships. I am open to finding mutually beneficial resolutions in conflicts. Conflict resolution allows for personal and interpersonal growth. I approach conflicts with calmness, patience, and respect. I am resilient and adaptive in navigating challenging conversations. I'm confident in my ability to find common ground in compromises. Conflict offers an opportunity to learn and gain new perspectives. I am capable of managing my emotions during conflicts. By addressing conflicts, I release the burden of unresolved issues. I have the power to transform conflicts into opportunities for positive change. Conflict resolution fosters harmony, understanding, and cooperation. I choose to address conflicts with compassion and empathy. No comparison involved. I am skilled at finding creative solutions during conflicts. By facing conflicts, I assert my needs and boundaries with respect. I am deserving of resolution and peaceful outcomes in all conflicts. I embrace conflict as a chance to build stronger connections with others. I am patient and understanding when conflicts require time for resolution. Conflict resolution allows me to express myself authentically and assertively. I am committed to resolving conflicts with integrity and fairness. Each conflict I face is an opportunity for personal and relational growth. I embrace conflict as a catalyst for positive change and growth. I am a skilled communicator and adept at expressing my thoughts and emotions during conflicts. Conflict resolution strengthens my problem-solving abilities and enhances my resilience. By addressing conflicts, I foster deeper connections and understanding with others. I approach conflicts with curiosity and a willingness to learn from different perspectives. Conflict resolution allows me to find common ground and create win-win outcomes. I am patient and compassionate during conflicts, allowing space for understanding to emerge. By embracing conflict, I contribute to a culture of open communication and trust. I am a powerful force for resolving conflicts peacefully and constructively. Conflict resolution empowers me to assert my needs while respecting the needs of others. I trust in my ability to find creative and innovative solutions during conflicts. Each conflict I face provides an opportunity for personal and relational growth. I welcome the discomfort of conflict as a sign of progress and potential breakthroughs. Conflict resolution deepens my self-awareness and emotional intelligence. I am skilled at navigating difficult conversations with grace and empathy. By addressing conflicts, I cultivate a harmonious and supportive environment for myself and others. I am not defined by conflicts. Instead, I grow stronger and wiser through them. Conflict resolution allows me to set healthy boundaries and prioritize self-care. I embrace conflict as an opportunity to build bridges and foster understanding. I am confident in my ability to find mutually beneficial solutions during conflicts. Each conflict I face strengthens my communication and interpersonal skills. Conflict resolution promotes trust, respect, and long lasting relationships. I approach conflicts with a growth mindset, knowing that challenges lead to personal development. I am a compassionate listener, allowing others to feel heard and understood during conflicts. By addressing conflicts, I contribute to a more peaceful and harmonious world. Pumpkin, you're so silly. Conflict resolution allows me to find creative and innovative solutions that benefit everyone involved. Why he's meowing, I don't know. Meow. Silly boy. I am committed to finding peaceful resolutions that honor the needs and perspectives of all parties. By addressing conflicts, I foster a culture of transparency, authenticity, and emotional well being. I embrace conflict as an opportunity to deepen my emotional intelligence and understanding of others. I am capable of managing my emotions effectively during conflicts, staying calm and composed. Conflict resolution empowers me to assert my values and advocate for fairness and justice. I trust in my ability to communicate assertively and respectfully, even in the midst of conflict. Each conflict I encounter strengthens my conflict resolution skills and equips me for future challenges. By embracing conflict, I create space for personal growth, self reflection, and self improvement. Conflict resolution allows me to address underlying issues and prevent further resentment or misunderstanding. I am a catalyst for positive changes, transforming conflicts into opportunities for growth and harmony. I approach conflicts with an open mind, willing to consider alternative perspectives and find common ground. Conflict resolution promotes effective teamwork, collaboration, and synergy. I am committed to resolving conflicts in a timely manner, preventing them from escalating further. By facing conflicts head on, I build resilience and strengthen my problem solving abilities. I am a compassionate mediator, helping others find understanding and reach mutually beneficial agreements. Conflict resolution contributes to my personal and professional development, opening doors to new opportunities. Each conflict I resolve contributes to a more harmonious and peaceful environment. I am worthy of experiencing resolution and harmony in my relationships and interactions. By addressing conflicts, I foster a sense of accountability and responsibility for my own actions and impact. I trust in my ability to navigate conflicts with grace, wisdom, and empathy. Conflict resolution strengthens my ability to communicate effectively and build meaningful connections. I embrace conflict as a necessary part of growth, both individually and within relationships. Each conflict I confront serves a stepping stone towards greater understanding and compassion. By embracing conflict resolution, I become a positive agent of change in the world. I am open to engaging in difficult conversations that lead to resolution and growth. Conflict resolution empowers me to take ownership of my emotions and responses. By addressing conflicts, I foster a culture of respect, understanding, and effective communication. I embrace conflict as an opportunity to strengthen my relationships and build deeper connections. Each conflict I face brings me closer to discovering new insights and perspectives. Conflict resolution allows me to express myself authentically and assertively while honoring the dignity of others. I am capable of finding win-win solutions that meet the needs of all parties involved. I approach conflicts with the mindset of curiosity, seeking to understand before seeking to be understood. By addressing conflicts directly, I release negative energy and create space for positive change. Conflict resolution enhances my problem solving skills and promotes personal development. I am committed to seeking common ground and finding collaborative solutions during conflicts. Each conflict I resolve contributes to a healthier and more harmonious environment. Conflict provides an opportunity for personal growth, self reflection, and increased self awareness. I approach conflicts with empathy, compassion, and a willingness to find mutually beneficial outcomes. By not avoiding conflict, I demonstrate courage and the resilience in the face of adversity. Conflict resolution strengthens my ability to navigate complex situations with grace and integrity. I am confident in my ability to maintain calm and composure during challenging conversations. Each conflict I address helps me build stronger communication skills and emotional intelligence. Conflict resolution promotes understanding, empathy, and cooperation within my relationships. I trust in my ability to find creative and effective solutions that bring about positive change. By embracing conflict, I contribute to personal and collective growth and transformation. I am deserving of peaceful resolutions and harmonious relationships in my life. Conflict resolution allows me to let go of past grievances and cultivate forgiveness and understanding. Each conflict I navigate strengthens my problem-solving abilities and resilience. By addressing conflicts directly, I create opportunities for healing, growth, and lasting positive changes. I don't know about you, but I hope that um, today's mental diet session was helpful to you. There is something to note that these are all planned ahead. I actually had the notes done for this one on Friday because I wasn't sure I was going to do it Saturday or today. So if it coincides with the conflict that you're dealing with and you're listening, just know that that was God's intention for you to hear it today because it was prepared on Friday. Just so you know. I usually do them the day before, but this one was done 3 days before. I have not read my normal affirmations that I usually open up with. So I'm going to do that now. I am so lucky. I am the luckiest person I know. Luck always finds me. Things are always working out for me. I am living the life of my dreams. Luck surrounds me and my family. I am healthy and financially blessed. You are so lucky. You are the luckiest person I know. Luck always finds you. Things are always working out for you. You're living the life of your dreams. Luck surrounds you and your family. You are healthy and financially blessed. I got asked how I could prove that you're living the life of your dreams. And that's easy. If you're not living up to the life that you thought you would live, then you're not dreaming big enough. Your dreams are not clear enough. You're too involved in what's going on right now to think ahead. And you're living in the moment, which frees up your life to come into whatever it comes into. If you want to live with a purpose, you have to prepare with a purpose. And that is envisioning your life in a whole new way. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? Do you know? Do you understand where you want to be in 5 years? I think in 5 years from now, wow, I hope to have a whole slew of grandchildren and that the boys find their mates and have started their families. That's what I would like to see happen in my life in 5 years. And maybe my daughter have one more baby because she's a good mama. And sweet Kenna needs a brother or sister. She doesn't need one, but it would be nice. But if you don't know where your life should be in 5 years, maybe you should start taking a few minutes each day and envision what it's going to look like, where you want it to be. Spend some time so that in 5 years you can look back and say, yes, I am living the life of my dreams. I'm doing all the things I said I wanted to do, and I'm living where I wanted to live. I'm driving the car I wanted to drive, and I'm doing the things I wanted to do. I am living the life of my dreams. Something to think about. I will see you guys tomorrow.
New, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends. Let's be more than friends. Yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars. Oh, where I'd rather be than with you. I can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me. Can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me.
See you tomorrow. Bye.